You're listening to the History Podcast by the Washington State Legislative Internship Program. This podcast is created and produced by legislative interns of Washington State. Many and varied are the stories of Washington State's legislative history. In each episode, we dive deep into topics like sports, true crime, world's fairs, industry, labor, indigenous history, and the makings of modern-day Seattle. It's said that history serves as a mirror so that we can avoid past tragedies. In this podcast, we look into the mirror to retell stories of triumph and tragedy alike, to understand where we are and how we got here, so that future generations may ask, where are we going? How do we get there? My name is Thomas Dubois, and I'm from University of Washington, Seattle. In this podcast, we're going to explore labor histories of Washington State. From urban to rural and in between, we locate Washington State in its global context and investigate how a diverse workforce paved the way for the labor standards of today.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ben Steinecker. I'm a student at UW Seattle, and I hope to direct an episode in this podcast on Indigenous history in Washington State, focusing specifically on the treaties and agreements drafted between the local peoples of what we now call Washington and the early U.S. government in this region.
My name is Ava Ray, and I'm a student from Eastern Washington University. To understand how to legislate here in Washington, it's important to understand the culture of the state, and a perfect way to do that is through the microcosm of pro sports.
Hi, my name is Max Flint. I'm a student at the University of Washington, Seattle. My episode is going to surround around the Alaska-Yukon Pacific Exposition. This World's Fair that was held in 1909 is important for why Seattle has developed as an economic hub in the Pacific Northwest.
Hello, my name is Paris Larson, and I am a student from Seattle Pacific University, and my episode will focus on the historical tourism in Seattle, specifically the Seattle Underground Tour, which would not be possible if it were not for the Great Seattle Fire and an overturned glue pot.
Hi, my name is Luke Preston from the University of Washington, Seattle, and in my episode we're going to talk about how Washington's industry has been transformed throughout its statehood, from an economy reliant on extraction of natural resources to an increasingly specialized and green economy underpinned by aerospace and technology.
Hi, this is Celine Paez from St. Martin's University. In my episode, we're looking at the changes over time with local police and state patrol in connection to the two of the most infamous serial killers in Washington state, the Green River Killer and Ted Bundy.
It's said that history serves as a mirror so that we can avoid past tragedies. In this podcast, we retell stories of triumph and tragedy alike to understand where we are and how we got here, so that future generations may ask, where are we going? How do we get there? This podcast is made possible thanks to listeners like you.